I find it so funny when people are like, cats are so shit. Are you an animal person though? Oh yeah, I love animals. Well, why do you hate cats? Well, they just go off and do their own thing. They're just shit. Oh cool, do you like lions? Love lions, they're gorgeous. Cool, a lion would fucking kill you any second he could. What are you talking about?
Yeah, true.
Like, their reasoning is so stupid. It's just because they need that attention.
Let's have a quick 10 minutes of dead time just for the audio.
Just 10 minutes?
Yeah, just 10 minutes of complete dead air, please.
Or should we just stop? Should we stop recording?
No. You need to keep rolling.
Why? What's the logic behind that?
No, I'm using Audition. You're using Logic.
Oh man,
that'd be great. Just like on the set on TV, when we've done like productions, where the audio guy is like, yeah, just get some Atmos, or just get some dead time, just to basically cut out, because you can do that thing where you cut out the like background noise and stuff. If you just have a bit of space where nobody's saying anything, you can cut all that out in audio editing software. And just imagine you're just about to go, ready to go, and he's like, yep, just a quick 10 minutes, guys. 10 minutes of dead time.
10 minutes.
Don't need that long.
Hey man, don't need that long. And also you can do that in your own time, man. That's your job. You just need to record. Tell you what, that is the one thing that I always forget to do, but I always regret not doing. When we film something, like, I know you can just grab Atmos outside. You can get like sound effects from YouTube and other websites. But it's always such an annoying thing when you're like, oh God, why didn't I just record for a minute of dead silence just to capture that exact sound?
That's
anyway.
Our top tip. If you're filming any short films this lockdown or anything yourself or any TikToks, it's very important to get that background Atmos.
Yeah, really important for TikToks. Yeah. Really important for TikToks. I mean, that's becoming videos. If you don't post your short film on TikTok, it's just like there's no point of having made it.
Yeah, no, it's definitely like the most respected like platform for young directors to share their work. Definitely. Yeah. Vimeo is kind of like out now. YouTube's
that's
really
out.
Been thing, but TikTok.
I guarantee you ask a 16-year-old what's Vimeo, they won't have a fucking clue.
Unless they're doing a film course, they don't know what it is.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, Vimeo. To be fair, Vimeo. I don't know what their like plan was. Like YouTube was. I don't know. Was it before YouTube? I can't imagine it was. But what were they thinking? Like they were never gonna be. Do you think they were thinking, oh, we're gonna be YouTube? We're gonna have loads of videos that you can search.
Vimeo is a video. For anyone who doesn't know, it's a video streaming platform that doesn't basically have the levels of compression that YouTube has. So that's why a lot of
I see. I didn't know that.
People making films and stuff that want to share it online would prefer to share it sometimes on Vimeo than YouTube, because you're not getting as much compression. You're getting basically a better quality picture from what you've actually recorded and edited yourself, and it's not being basically downgraded for the YouTube servers. So a lot of people creating that stuff will post it to Vimeo instead.
Dude, it's just so funny though that I can't remember. I was listening to a podcast the other day and they were saying that they don't like TikTok, really. They find it just like it's not, it's for a much younger audience. But they posted a TikTok. Actually, I think it was Noel from TMG, right?
Yeah.
He posted a TikTok and then overnight it got like 1 million views, or like it did more views, right? So he made a little TikTok where he just talked to the camera for like a minute, right? And then that did more views and has more views than a music video that they shot.
Yeah,
like they had to write music to, properly like spend days working on, like so much effort. And then this video that he made where he just talked to the camera, making a few jokes, just blew up. Yeah. And they were basically saying like, for some reason, TikTok is because I guess everyone's on it. And the way that the app sends your video out, the way that the algorithm works, it's just, I don't know. It's almost like you have to be on TikTok if you want to get out there now. You have to be. I think, as much as I hate saying that, I think you do.
No, I do agree. I think it's good to do both in that sense. I think there is something on to that though that I will say, and this is to also anyone that is maybe, is interested in making more high quality content and then seeing all these TikTok people come up, is that I think that there is still something to making that high quality content and using other platforms like YouTube and things like that, because I think that TikTok fame is very fleeting. I think sure, like you get 1 million views on that kind of video, but like, is anyone really going to remember you next week? Whereas when you make that really high quality long form content, you're maybe not getting as much instant sort of gratification, but you are creating something bigger. I think you're creating more of a brand. You're creating like something that you can be proud of, and even if less people enjoy it, the more you do that, you're going to basically be a bit more kind of respected as well. I think overall, it's like get rich quick scheme TikTok, but it's not actually like it everlasting. I don't think, and I think we're probably more likely to remember the people that made those amazing music videos and stuff that in 10 years from now than fucking these TikTok teens. So
they're different things. Like if you've got 500,000 views on YouTube and you've got 8 million views on TikTok, I still think it's more impressive to have the 500,000 on YouTube. But that's currently though, right? I don't know. In a year's time, things might change, and it might be that TikTok is like really quite an achievement to have a following on TikTok, but probably because it's filled with young 11-year-olds, that's probably why it doesn't feel quite so rewarding. If you get, because that they're just, I guess, not throwing shade at 11-year-olds here, but like, that their taste is very young and immature. So it's bad. It sucks. So
yeah, but that's what I mean.
So many times.
Make a quick joke, you make a TikTok and people find it funny, but like there's only, I think there's only so much you can do with that. Whereas you can make a much bigger, better product by putting more time into it. Yeah. And not looking for a quick buck.
No. And with YouTube, you've got subscribers. Like to actually make a YouTube account is so annoyingly like, sometimes you just don't want to sign in, right? So if you don't sign in, you can't comment or like. That's such an annoying thing. With TikTok, to actually use the app, you have to be signed in, and it keeps you signed in. I think there's so many like barriers with YouTube that stop people from like subscribing, liking, even like I guess even watching the video, because if you're not, for all those people who watch YouTube unsigned in, who aren't signed in, they're not going to get recommended videos. It's just going to be what's huge at the time. On like the home feed. If you've ever just like gone to YouTube.
Because I've used like a computer at work that I haven't signed into, and I've gone back to that computer, and I think it remembers like the cookies and stuff basically from what you've done before. But no, it's not the same as subscribing. No. If you look at some of the big channels and that have like millions of views, you'd be surprised. I think only like 10% of those views are actually subscribers.
Yeah. That's it. So they've got something wrong there. I don't know what it is, but I don't know if YouTube needs to sort of like look at making like the mobile app more like TikTok, where it's just like you're signed in, and I don't know. Maybe it's less like
so you have to have an account to use TikTok.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like, you
That's
do.
It, though, isn't it? And I think because there's been so many times where like I haven't been logged in on YouTube and I really liked something, and then like you can't even like a video, as you said, unless you're signed in, and then I'm not
exactly.
in. Like it's fine. Yeah.
I'm not going to sign in just to like this thing. Are you kidding me? Yeah. But I think the subscribe click for some reason is so much heavier than just like a follow than on like Instagram or TikTok.
You have to really work
need to sort that out.
Definitely. Yeah. Like you have to really work for it. Yeah. You
gotta
make some
on YouTube
stuff.
That's it. I'm not going to subscribe unless I'm really into you. Whereas on social media, like I feel like YouTube for some reason isn't part of it, even though it is social media, but it doesn't feel like that sort of like Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, Facebook sort of like mobile app.
Yeah.
And I think they need to sort that out. And YouTube, by the way, the worst layout for, it's so confusing. It ties your Google account, YouTube, like Google Plus, whatever it is.
Yeah.
Just sort it out. Like you're like one of the most wealthy social media companies in the world ever to exist.
It's
and yet
not difficult
you still
to use, but it's also not like super streamlined either.
No, it's not. It's not.
And on
it's
that
really
note,
not. Like YouTube.
Please subscribe to our YouTube channel if you're watching this video and you're not subscribed.
Please do. Please do. I think
much more quality.
I don't know what it is.
Content coming soon.
I don't know, when you sign into your account, you've got like the YouTube Studio, and then it's like, cool. I want to change the display picture of my YouTube channel. Cool. Then it goes to your Google account. It's like, no, don't do that. I just want it on my. I hate it, bro. I hate it.
I'm sure in the future it'll be all right, but it's not. I think that's why things like TikTok pick up so quickly, though, because it's just so easy for, like, as you said, 11-year-olds to just be like, oh, cool.
It's for kids.
Yeah, I get this.
Yeah. 100%, man.
But welcome back to What a Bother, where we talk about what bothers us more.
TikTok. No, we just talk about TikTok.
We just talk about TikTok. Welcome back to TikTok pod. Where we make fun of 11-year-olds for their bad taste that they can't help. No, we are just bitter. We're bitter old men.
Bitter boys.
Bitter boys.
And guess what? If we were huge on TikTok, we'd be saying how much we love 11-year-old boys, wouldn't we?
We love it. We love our 11-year-old boys.
We love 11-year-old boys, man. They're fucking great. Yeah.
How have you been, man? How's your week treating you?
Well, I know we've obviously chatted about this, but I'll just mention it briefly for the pod. I thought 2021 was going to be fucking the year, yeah? The year. I was like, 2020's gone. For some reason, as soon as that page turns and you've got that new year, you just feel like, all right, I can...
Fresh
It
slate.
just feels fresh, doesn't it? Yeah, fresh slate, man. 4 days in, one of the loves of my life, my fucking cat Oscar, he dies.
Yeah.
Right? Oscar, I've had him since I was 9.
Wow.
I was 9 years old, maybe 8, right? Got him in 2003.
Which is pretty much the age where you start remembering stuff anyway. Anything before the age of like 7 or 8 anyway, you don't remember. So kind of like life... That's almost like the tutorial version of a video game, whereas like life really starts when you're like about 10, I'd say. That's when life starts. That's when you start remembering shit.
That's it.
So pretty much all your life, essentially. Yeah,
exactly. So so I grew up with him basically. He was like a brother, man, and had him. He was 17 and a half years old. And it happened super quick. I remember seeing it. So he lived with my dad. I saw him over Christmas outside, obviously. And he was fine. Like he looked... And also, I'll put a few pictures up. Just one of the most handsome cats ever to exist. Like he was a part of a litter. He's a ragdoll, but he was a chocolate ragdoll. And that litter weren't supposed to have any, apparently. That was like super rare to have a chocolate ragdoll, which is where their face is like brown... And it sort of blends into this like white coat.
And they like taste.
He was just a gorgeous.
When you like groom them back and stuff.
Yeah. You get a nice little lick, and he tastes great.
That's sweet.
But yeah, he was just such a handsome boy. He was fine, and then all of a sudden, literally within 2 days, it just turned for the worst. And my dad, so he was living with my dad, and then my dad, Oscar's not doing well. Literally 1.5 days.
Wow.
That was it, and we had to put him down.
Sorry, man.
And have you ever put a pet down? I'd never done it until then.
Never had to, no.
Bro, I don't want to get too much into it because oh yeah, of course you didn't, yeah. No. So I won't go into much detail. Obviously, it's supposed to be a funny podcast and all, but it just feels fucking awful. Like,
so were you like in the room with the cat?
Mm-hmm.
Oh really? Okay, Jesus.
I had to go to the vets because I was like, look, I want to make sure there's literally no other choice than to put him down, because he seemed fine, and I felt like, I know vets they know exactly what they're talking about. They they know far more than I do, and I just wanted to make sure that. But I just didn't want to I didn't want them to be being too ruthless. Like, oh, we see this all the time. He's got to go,
like
sort of thing.
Cold-hearted about it.
Yeah. Like, there's no. I get they have to do that. So I went and I saw all his test results, and I was just like, basically, his kidneys were gone. They were just done, right? So eventually, it would have just been like a painful, very unpleasant, maybe a week that he had tops. So I was like, right, okay, that's that. I agree. I don't want him to be in pain. So then I wanted to just make sure that like whatever his last memory was, like, was just with people that, loved him. I didn't want to be out of the room. I wanted him to like be looking at me, basically. God, and yeah, I know. And then it was weird. I've never seen it before. It was quick, super peaceful. His little head sort of just fell. He was laying down, obviously, and then dude, it was quick. I was like, what do they use? And my mum was just like, made it feel so much better for me, because I was like, what are they like injecting in him? And it's just like an overdose of general anesthetic. Is that right? Yeah, like what we have for operations, it's just like a shitload of that.
Yeah, that's really quite scary though when you hear about people dying from that, because it just means that they imagine just like putting a bit too much in, just like a little bit too much. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, it is peaceful. Done. It's not like it definitely isn't like obviously there's a reason we do it. Obviously very sorry to hear that, man. I think that's something that I think I know we touched on it a little bit when it happened, when we spoke about it, but it's definitely something that I think you can only really relate to if you've had like a good cat or any good pet, really. I think it's the same. I think a lot of people would brush off like cats maybe because they shouldn't have very good cats, and a lot of some cats are just not great. But if you get a good cat like that, like Oscar was, like in my opinion, honestly, sometimes it's better than a dog. Better than a dog. And I'll go out and say that dog people, trust me, like sometimes cats can be better, if not as good.
100%. Dog people are people who haven't had cats. Yeah, that's basically what dog people are, and that's fine. Like you prefer what you're used to, like, and that's 100% fine. But I've had from day dot cats and dogs, and that's why I feel like I'm bang down the middle. I understand like people like dogs for selfish reasons. People like dogs because, they give me all the attention I need. They love me all the time. And it's just like, cats just do their own thing and it's lame. It's just like, you're a selfish fuck. Yeah. Like you're
it's true. It's almost like dogs are just like idiots, really. They're just like, I mean, I am joking when I say that, but like they don't know any better than just to give you all their love. And it's so sweet and it's so amazing. But there's something about cats when a cat, it's almost like more rewarding when a cat chooses to give you their love, because it's almost like they have a lot more independence, and they're not just, their default isn't just to love you. Like, I don't know, I haven't ever heard of a single dog that when you've bought them as a puppy, they don't just absolutely love you and depend on you no matter what. That's never happened. Whereas that does happen with cats. And I feel like when a cat does then choose to kind of like chill with you and like love you and like your attention and stuff like that, I feel like it's almost like that's a bigger, like, it's more special. It is more special. I think I think it's just pros and cons. I think it depends on your personality type as well. Like I think probably for us, cats, where they're just a bit more chill and I don't know, probably better. But
I honestly am down the middle. I find it so funny when people are like, cats are so shit. Are you an animal person though? Oh yeah, I love animals. Well, why do you hate cats? Well, they just go off and do their own thing. They're just shit. Oh, cool. Do you like lions? Love lions. They're gorgeous. Cool. A lion would fucking kill you any second he could. What are you talking about? Yeah, it's true. Like their reasoning is so stupid. It's just because they need that attention. And I know that's why you get dogs, because you want to feel love and give love and just feel happy. I get it.
I guess that's why you get a pet, isn't it? Because you want that.
Yeah, that's why you get a pet. You want it. You want to be able to just have something around. Even if you've got a family of 5 for some reason, having a pet you can like, it's so funny how you show so much more love, like obvious love to your pets as opposed to like your family members.
Yeah, you're like a dad will be like, he'll never say fucking I love you to you, but to the cat it's like, oh, it gets
exactly. Your dad isn't going to go up to you and like stroke your head and be like, I just love you so much, son. But he'll go up to that cat and be like, oh, I just love you. All of us will do that. For some reason, it's like, because they can't, it's like, I don't know whether we have some like trouble with expressing emotion to people that understand what we're saying, because obviously dogs and cats don't know what we're saying. Yeah. But yeah, to those people who have a problem with cats because they don't give enough, it's just like, you're an idiot. I just think cats are awesome in different ways to dogs. You can't compare the two. I don't think you can. We only compare them because they're the common pets to have. If you had a fucking Komodo dragon, you're not gonna. I don't know. Like,
fucking, I love a Komodo
he's
dragon.
gonna be way worse than a cat because he's just gonna chill. He's not gonna do anything for you.
As you said, there's something that I like about cats where they have that independence. For me, that's more like, oh, you're an animal. You have your own like kind of life. Do you know what I mean? Your life doesn't completely depend. Although you'd probably starve if it wasn't for me. Like, your life doesn't completely sort of depend on my constant 100% attention. But I think the interesting thing that I touch upon about putting the animals down, I always do find it really interesting that we have that kind of like compassion. I guess you could call it compassion, to be like, this animal's suffering, it's not living a comfortable life right now, let's put it down. Yet we don't do that with people, and that's something even from like a really early age that I've always felt very strongly about. Having lived, or sorry, not lived, but at least had relatives and family friends and stuff that have, are much older, that have lived very, very uncomfortable lives towards the end. And like, I just think it's weird that we're still like, no, can't do that. It's unethical with people. But it's just like, but we're so happy to do that to animals. And you could argue that the animals wouldn't understand that, because they don't know what's going on, whereas people would probably be more likely to understand that system.
Yeah, for sure, 100%. Yeah, because I felt bad, because obviously any animal's instinct is to survive, right? So Oscar in that position would have wanted to survive, because that's what they're here for, is to just be on this planet and survive. He's not thinking, because he obviously, I don't know, I don't think they have internal thoughts, kill me. He's obviously not thinking that, right? But
some people would, yeah, some people would, right? Oh, this is so painful, please kill me, right? Who knows, he might have thought, oh, I wish I was asleep right now, but I don't think he is. I think he's thinking, God, I just got to feel better, which made me feel like I felt wrong, because as an animal that isn't a human, I feel like their instinct is to just want to survive, and 100%. I feel like I'm taking away, even if it's a week, I'm taking away a week away from them, and I felt so weird, and that's why I sort of argued against my parents, because I was like, the thing is, they know so much more about that stuff than me. They've had like load more pets in their lifetime before I was here, so they've had to deal with this for quite a few occasions, and I just found it hard to actually accept it until I actually went down, spoke to the vets. I was like, okay, cool, I get it. But that's what I mean. I think it's weird that we do that for animals, because as you said, like, they don't really have that conscious thought where they think that stuff. Their instinct is to survive constantly, whereas as humans, that's what sets us apart. We have that conscious thought, and there's a lot of humans out there that would choose to be put down, I guess, in for lack of a better term.
I think they would,
and that exists, and it does exist in some countries as well. Some countries do have euthanasia, and I think it's weird that we don't here. I've always thought that it's strange that we don't have that option. I know it's like, people argue that it could be abused as a system, but to be honest, you can argue for everything. We have a benefit system that's great for some people, but it's also abused by others. It doesn't mean we stop doing it. Do you know what I mean? Like,
it's a great point. It's a great point. I'm sure there would be a way of monitoring it to where only in extreme conditions can it be used, and obviously it can't be I don't know.
You
I'm
review
sure.
it, right? You probably get like detectives or something, or to some level, like medical detectives or something that can look into the case and be like, yeah, this seems like normal. This person is actually suffering. There's no one's benefiting from this person's death, etc. and whatnot. And,
yeah, they have to come and check out. That's a great point. I mean, also creating more jobs for people.
Exactly.
Imagine
trying to get that funded through the NHS, though. Jesus.
Oh my god, yeah, no chance. But anyway, yeah. So, Oski boy, rest in peace.
Rest in peace, Oscar.
Gorgeous cat, such a sweet cat, cuddly cat, especially in his later years. He was just such a good boy.
They do. As they get older, they get more affectionate.
Yeah, they do, and I loved it.
So when they're younger, they're such teenagers when they're younger, and then it's like, just don't touch me.
He was a playful little monster when he was a kitten, and like a little kid. He would chase, what are those fucking things? Those just like whatever, any little toy that you had for him. He wouldn't stop. No. He would pant. You know how cats sometimes pant. Yeah. Well, you literally he'd be panting that much because he loved it, and then he sort of transitioned into becoming just more cuddly, and just a cuddly, gorgeous cat is a great combination, man. It's a great combo. But anyway. That was the start of my year, so fucking awesome. I hope that's not setting.
But
dude, no, I appreciate that.
You did touch upon, just to bring it back round to something else. You did touch a point what you saying about the start of the year, which comes to my bother, which is again not necessarily anything new, but New Year's resolutions, dude. Like we need to sort that out. I feel like if you're,
okay.
I don't know. No, I don't want to call anyone specific out.
No, go on.
I just feel like if you're like over the age of 12 and then like below the age of 60 and you're making New Year's resolutions that like you're going to become a new person, it's just like, do something else. Like go kick a football. Like, it's just, what are you doing, man?
I 100% know what you're talking about, because I agree with you to a certain extent. I think the problem is that people need to let go of high expectations with New Year's resolutions. I think that's the problem. I think what you have to do, like what I've actually done, I wouldn't call it a New Year's resolution, but I've sort of called it, I've like named it, I'm trying to start new habits,
okay,
right? As opposed to like a New Year's resolution.
New habits die hard, as they say.
Well, I don't want them to die hard, man. I want them to stick with me. I've chosen habits that I want to last, right? So they say how habits take like 21 days to actually like stick with you. Yeah. I'm doing a 30-day challenge where I do 100 push-ups, 30 pull-ups, 100 squats.
Wow. Can I do that?
I sing for 15 minutes. I do some form of like instrument practice for 15 minutes every day for 30 days so that it sticks with me as a habit. And also I want to see the progression and improvement. I'm sort of videoing everything, and I kind of just wanted to I was just curious to see what 30 days of solid work. I just want to see what it looks like on video as well, and then be inspired if it's going well.
Yourself
just so you can actually see that progression. Like and then by those 30 days, by the end of them, you will be hopefully inspired by that to keep going or to implement some new things that you want to try out. And I just kind of want to get that as a habit of mine. Just keep changing things up, trying new things. And
no, absolutely. I am in fully support of that. And when I say that about New Year's resolutions, I don't mean trying to better yourself or do anything different is lame. I just mean it annoys me every year because people always make New Year's resolutions and don't stick to them. And my point is just be a better person any time of the year. Basically, don't wait until a human constructed calendar has decided that it's a new year. Do you know what I mean? Just like if you want to make a change, Don't wait for tomorrow. Don't wait for next week. Don't wait for Monday. Don't wait for 2021. Don't wait for 2022. Like, just start small and start, basically and also don't announce it to the world. Don't announce it to the world unless you do something. That's another bother. Don't, the people that are just like, oh yeah, I'm gonna do this, or I'm gonna change this about myself, and they never do it. Do the thing first and then brag about it after. Don't brag about the things you haven't done yet. And that is such good life advice for anyone watching this.
It is. 100%. Move silently.
Yeah.
Move silently. Do things do those things without telling anyone. Maybe tell someone close that can hold you accountable if they're like, oh, I thought you were doing this, and you're like, oh, fuck. Maybe do that, but don't post a Facebook. Don't post on Facebook saying, this is a new start. I'm gonna do this, this, and this. Yeah. Don't fucking do that, because in 2 weeks. They're desperate for something that they just need. They need attention, and they're not actually willing to put the hard work in. And you're so right, man. You're so right. That I think that is such a good point. I think the whole turning the new year fresh start. But I don't know. You're so right. Like, I don't know why that is a thing, because effectively, if you didn't have that in your head, like for me, the way I picture it is that we're right at the bottom of the calendar. The way I picture like the 12 months from the 31st of December to the 1st of January, I literally go like this, and my brain goes all the way to the top, and it's a brand new start.
Okay.
And I think a lot of people probably have that, and for some reason, you're right. In reality, we are just, nothing's changed. We're still on that path moving forward. So if you can get it through your heads and me being one of those people, where tomorrow is exactly the same as starting a new year, because it's just a new day. There's nothing different about it. If you can treat those as the same things, you'd be far more productive and probably be happier, rather than being like, oh, I'll start next week. Like, hey, a week isn't anything. Like we are just living day by day, and like you said, we've made this calendar up to help us with organization, right? If having weeks, months, years, decades, right? That's constructed to be more organized, so that we know what's going on in life, and like it's just. Well, but basically, don't use next week as an excuse. But we're all guilty for it. I'm the same. But you're right. I think if we can just be like, I'm going to do that I'm going to do that tomorrow, or like I can just start now, because there's no different. There's nothing different about it. In reality, there isn't. But for some reason, it feels like, it's a fresh start, fresh week, cool.
Yeah.
I don't know why, and by the way, once again, I'm one of those people. Like I get easily. I am easily influenced by the new week, new year thing.
Yeah.
I want to change it.
I think it's easy. It's really easy to get sucked into it, and I think that basically it's just you need to retrain your brain and just see each day as I'm going to really kick myself, because I can't remember who spoke about it, but the way they put it was so good, which I'm going to absolutely butcher. But they were saying that basically tomorrow doesn't exist. There's no such thing. There's no such thing as tomorrow. There's no such thing as the future. It's just now. That just hasn't happened yet. And I know that's kind of like the same thing, but the idea is that you're not waiting for tomorrow or the future for something to happen, because all it's going to be is it's the present, but just not happened yet, if that makes sense. So it's like you need to get into the habit of not thinking in those kind of cyclical kind of calendar terms, and just start making the changes that you want to see as soon as possible, or when you have the time. And I'm guilty of it as well. We all need to do it.
That is solid advice. I think you're so right. If we can just get through our heads that tomorrow, that even a new day, maybe a new day is okay to think, okay, new day, I'll start then. But there's no difference tomorrow being. It's exactly the same thing. Like if we didn't picture a restart and it was just one road that never ended until you died, maybe then people would be like, shit, I'm going to snap out of it. I've got to start now.
Honestly, I think it's a poison. Honestly, like the calendar is a poison. I think, as you said, if there was no calendar and time just ticked on, I think people would probably do things a bit more in the present.
Yeah, I also like. it's a good point about I'm going to be a better person. Like I'm going to do all these things. It's just like, no, just do that now.
Yeah.
Like don't use that excuse to like, okay, until then I'm going to just be shitty and like my mood's going to be crap and I'm going to eat whatever I want and I'm going to not exercise. Like, no, just do it. Like, don't use that excuse. Dude, great point. But I would say there is a benefit to, if you can actually stick to a New Year's resolution, which most people won't, be realistic about those resolutions. Don't just think, oh, I'm going to completely change my life. No, just do like...
Yeah, that's so true. Like,
little
I'm
by
going to
little.
lose fucking 10 kilos and then also...
No, you're not.
You know, no, that's such a good point. Start little. And I think what you said about the habit thing is really, really good advice, where it's like, pick something that's manageable, pick something that's so easy to do. And once you start getting into that habit, it's almost like, oh, cool, I've actually learned now how to get into a habit or how to train a new habit of mine, and then you can go up from there. And I think that's also really, really great advice.
Yeah, so I think so. I'm going to try it anyway. Hopefully I will last the 30 days and maybe go on to 60. But I think, and when I say like, 100 push-ups, I mean throughout the day. That's 10 in the morning, 10 at 10 o'clock, 10 at 11 o'clock. And trust me, over a day, like, because most people will think 100 push-ups in one go. Jesus, no, I'm just saying throughout the day. Yeah, just knock those out from whenever you wake up to when you go to bed.
Or you could do like, maybe like one every 10 minutes or something. Could also work.
Do you know what? Why not? Fucking, I'd kind of be curious to see how that works out. Yeah.
On that note, though, so have you got any New resolutions?
Well, I don't know if you call them resolutions, but like, with the practicing, and even with the practicing guitar and stuff, I'm making sure I'm limiting it to a short period of time to where I know that it's not going to, I don't want it to be like, oh God, I've got to do this now. I want it to be like, cool, 15 minutes, right? Nice and short, sweet.
10 minutes, 15 minutes. Yeah. And then you can go up as well. If you're like, oh God, I'm actually quite enjoying this. Cool. Let's do an hour today.
Exactly. And if you, all right, so say it's 10 minutes of singing practice every day for 30 days, add that up, you're going to be so much better off than thinking, oh God, I do need to start singing soon. Thinking that you've got to commit to an hour every like few days. No. 10 minutes every day. I think we need to sort of realize that.
Set the expectation low, and then anything you do over that feels like hard work, feels like you're winning, basically.
That's it, man. That's it. So in terms of resolutions, I'm trying to start new habits, and by starting new habits, I hope that's going to force out bad habits. Yeah. Because you're not creating as much time for yourself to just be sat on your phone. I want to be fucking doing more things productive. So I do want to get off my phone more though. Like I really do. That's one thing I'd love to go without is like, I think just it's so easy. 100%. So easy just to be on your phone.
But I'm going to do the same. I think I'm going to. It's such a habit, especially at lockdown at the moment. And I know I just roasted people for New Year's resolutions, but I want to stop using my phone when I wake up and before I go to bed, basically. Because I realize, especially in lockdown where I don't have to really get up for anything, I easily spend an hour just on my phone before I even get up. And I think I want to change that.
Dude.
And just get up straight away. As soon as I wake up, get up and start doing the things that I want to do.
Dude, that's a shout. And that's something that I'm exactly the same. Yeah. I feel exactly the same as you with that because... I don't know why it's this thing of, oh cool, I'm waking up, I'll check my phone to wake myself up. Yeah. And it's just like I kind of get a bit of a headache when I do that, and I do it all the time. Yeah. And I think the only way I'm going to stop doing it is putting my phone out of reach, like on my bedside table or
opposite side of the room.
Opposite side of the room. Set the alarm so you have to get up. I think I've heard people say that's what you should do.
What I used to do when I went to college and school, I used to put because I was the ultimate snoozer when I I still am, but I'm a little bit better now. Yeah. I have to be a bit more responsible. But yeah, when I was younger, and I had to do that. I even had an alarm. Remember back when we had alarm clocks before phones were really sophisticated, and I used to have it on the opposite end of the room, so I'd have to get up in the morning to turn it off, and it would help. It would make a big difference.
Yeah. The thing is, by doing that though, like. With me, like especially with the relationship I'm in, like obviously Nikki isn't going to bed at that point. So like sometimes I'll be texting her when I'm in bed, and I just find it's like putting it across the room when I also feel like it makes me more tired when I'm on my phone when I'm trying to go to bed. And I know that's a bad habit. I know they say you shouldn't be sleeping anywhere near your phone. Like fucking, like if you ask my dad would be like, oh, you shouldn't have anything electric near you whilst you're sleeping.
Radio
like,
waves.
Whatever. Yeah, you're going to die of radiation soon. But I do think that is the right thing to do. I just need to actually like sit down and be like, right, okay, I'm doing it, and just commit.
Yeah.
Need to do it. I do need to do it. I think that's a great point.
I'm gonna do it from tonight. And also, that's another thing about resolutions and holding it to a date as well, as you feel like you've failed if you haven't. So I didn't start on February. I didn't start on January 1st, but I'm gonna start today because fuck it. It's January, whatever the fuck, and make the change when you can. So.
Dude, you could just say like, today is your New Year's. You could be like, I have an extra 5 days before I start the New Year. Like you can make up whatever you want. That's a good idea. You should, man. You should be like the Chinese calendar. Yeah, they just made up their own one as well.
Yeah, that's true. Just never on time or miss so many dates. I'm on my own calendar now, guys. Obviously, it's like, well, hey man, it's not very practical.
And your work just have to accept it, because it's just like you're discriminating against me. It's the way of me telling time. It's my own calendar. Or you know what, guys? There's nothing we can do about that. It's cancel culture at the moment. Like, we'll get fucked.
I'll cancel you if you tell me that my calendar and clock is incorrect. Yeah, there's 48 hours in a day, and it's Floorborg the 16th right now. So. But anyway, that's probably about all we've got time for.
Yeah, I think we're good there.
But yeah, thanks for watching, guys. Please subscribe if you haven't subscribed and you're watching this, and please carry on, guys, sending in your bothers. We didn't manage to get to answer any this week, but we are in need of some questions, bothers, whatever you're feeling, really. You guys have been killing it so far. Keep it up. Cool. Take care, guys.
Cheers, guys. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Bye-bye.